Hey everyone, Phillippa here, coming at you from a lovely, hazy sort of summer evening here in New Zealand. Just wondering if any of you have ever been told or decided by yourselves that you needed to change the way that you talk to yourself in your head. Maybe some of you have never even heard of that before anyway. We call that self-talk. That's when you're having a conversation with yourself in your own head, right? We do this a lot and a lot of people don't even realize it, but you're always talking to yourself. And a lot of what you say to yourself throughout the course of your day involves judgment. A lot of what we say to ourselves in our heads is about our own judgment of ourselves and our situation, right? So when we talk about people who are very negative or people who are really positive, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes positive people who seem positive on the outside, they may be very positive about and toward other people. They're not always necessarily incredibly positive about themselves when they're talking to themselves. And negative people, well, who knows? But you may have heard of this concept before, and you may have heard other people say, gosh, so-and-so needs to be more positive. You may have even heard that said to yourself, or maybe if you're a little further along than some of us, you may have thought to yourself, my word, what am I saying to myself? This has got to change, right? Because the way that we talk to ourselves eventually becomes the way that we are. And this is definitely a concept that we're trying to pass on to our children and that we're very mindful of in that respect. Anyway, I digress. So perhaps you've been told or you decided for yourself, I need to change the way that I talk to myself. I need to change the way that I think about myself, right? But maybe nobody's ever really taught you how to do that, because I remember hearing about these concepts from a very early age, because with the business that my parents were in for a couple of years when I was growing up, there was a lot of personal development involved, and I was hearing the things that they were listening to, not necessarily reading the books that they were reading, but I was hearing what they were listening to, and a lot of those sorts of ideas sort of sank in, this idea that you need to be positive and talk nicely to yourself in your head, but the thing that was missing, because it didn't really change a whole lot for me. I had the intellectual idea of what needed to be going on, but I didn't know how to achieve it. I don't know whether any of you have experienced this. So I went through life knowing that I needed to be a positive thinker, but I was constantly frustrated because nothing that I tried ever seemed to make a dent, right? And I can't remember exactly what it was that I was reading at the time, but I remember a few months back I had an epiphany and I knew what I had to do. Now I would be very happy to share. It's such a simple strategy. I want to share that strategy with you, but there's not time right now. So what I want you to do is make sure that you're following me on Facebook, and I will revisit this subject in full detail later. So if you're following me and you've checked notifications on, you should receive a notification of my next installment on this topic. And also, if you're right in the middle of this struggle yourself, and you want help urgently, you can private message me and I'd be happy to share with you my own technique for really making that shift from negative self-talk to positive self-talk. It's really easy and I can't wait to share it with you.